Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, welcome to a movie episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who's bah humbug with me tonight?
Bah humbug. We're not in the Christmas Carol. Anyways, this is Tiffany Albertin.
There's a lot of bah humbug here, though.
Oh.
Everybody, it's Kenneth Sanity, and I am eating after midnight.
This is really bad for you.
I don't care. Do what I want.
And I'm Hannah Bill from A Gamer Looks at 40, and I make the illogical logical.
So we are here to bring you another Patreon-voted movie episode, and we're here to talk about Gremlins, directed by Joe Dante, written by Chris Columbus. Came out in 1984.
Oh, it's two.
I wasn't alive yet.
Shut up. I hate you.
So I always like to start these with our memories. So I thought I saw this entire movie before, and I was proven wrong.
Again.
I have seen parts of this movie.
Proven wrong again.
Like, I've never seen the opening, but I've seen, like, the rest of the movie.
Weird, but okay.
Okay, how much of this did you remember then? Like, how much of this did you, like, recall?
I remember they went into a pool at one point. I remember Gizmo. I remember Strife. Bits and pieces. I remembered some of the murders, but not a lot of this movie. Like, I must have only started watching once the Gremlins got in the movie. I must have been like, this is great, and then walked away. And yes, I will make that quote every time now.
That's fair.
So
I didn't like that 5-minute long monologue.
where she tells how terrible Christmas is because her dad died for no reason. No.
And nobody asked.
I mean, it was, she really did kind of springing on everybody.
So this is a movie from my childhood, and I'm watching it, and I haven't watched it forever. Now, like, as an adult, I'm like, the fuck is going on here? Why is this happening? Because it fed the Gizmo after midnight.
Tiffany, what is your history with this movie?
Oh, I kind of just told you.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, it's a movie from my childhood, and everything I just told you.
All right. Ken.
Well, I got a weird history with this movie. I don't think I saw it until quite a good deal later in life. Like when I was in double-digit age. But
your parents tried to have you watch the more terrifying horror movies while you were little and save the less horrifying ones for as you got older.
oh, those ones I snuck watching. But it's really weird. I had a lot of the merchandise from this movie.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Like I had a little Gizmo toy.
Uh-huh.
And they made children's storybooks for this with little records that like
That I didn't
read the
have.
story to you.
I have a Furby, a Gizmo Furby, without the batteries.
This was years before the Furby. Like
I know.
was first wave merchandise, and I remember.
But that's how much I held
specifically,
on to it.
I remember having a kind of hard plastic Gizmo action figure. Like it was probably about 8 inches tall, had a big old head with weird eyes, and like the merchandising was surprisingly big for this movie. And until I got older, I was like, oh man, I don't know why they're making merchandise for this kids movies. Like this isn't a kids movie, it's rated R, isn't it?
Yeah.
Spoiler, it is not.
Oh, it's not?
I'm gonna say it's not. I don't think so. I think it's maybe PG-13.
It is PG. This predated PG-13.
Oh right, so this is PG with all the gunfire and chainsaws. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Parental guidance. That's what it stands for.
Oh yeah, that's parental guidance. I get it. Yeah, totally.
Like it is woof. But yeah, I did eventually watch this and the prequel or the sequel, and I have a good history with Gremlins.
And Bill.
I did not see this as a kid either. I was aware of Gizmo and I was aware of the Gremlins, just like Mr. Sanity from all the collectibles and merchandising. This was a huge. This was one of the first. I can't say first because Star Wars really was the one that kicked off the merchandising chaos. But this was one of those movies that had a huge Christmas push. This also brings up the question: is this a Christmas movie? I say yes, but close.
100%.
You can make an argument for no, especially given my metrics. Given my metrics for a Christmas movie, I say borderline. I say barely. And I will discuss later. But this was huge. This was everywhere. Everyone had a Gizmo something, even if you never saw it. And I know I didn't see this as a kid. I saw this later on, maybe once or twice. And this is another one, kind of like Ghostbusters, kind of like a lot of movies we've seen lately, where this is just in the cultural zeitgeist. Like, this is one of those, you've seen the scene of the Gremlins in the movie theater throwing popcorn around the place. You've seen them drunk at the bar before. I know my local Alamo Draft House one time they always do a very funny don't talk, don't text little featurette before their movies. I'm sure it was one of them had the Gremlins in there screaming and throwing things, and maybe one of them faces melting off. I know it's been in the culture forever. So I have seen this in its entirety before, and I think I've seen Gremlins 2 more. It's a movie I don't like as much. I think it's very dumb, but I don't remember if it's good dumb or bad dumb. I remember being really silly, where this straddles the line between horror and comedy really wonderfully. I really like this movie for a lot of reasons, and we'll get into it. My history with it is really very limited. I remember seeing it a long time ago, and then just literally 2 minutes before this recording, finished watching it for this recording. So that was like number 3 or 4 times I've seen it.
Okay. I have never seen Gremlins 2, I don't think. I only know that movie because I had a children's book of it as a kid.
What?
So, yeah, I don't know why I had a children's book. I know there's a spider gremlin.
Did your mom buy that?
Yeah, it was a book my mom found.
Did she? Shut up.
You walked into it.
I totally did. Did she read it?
I don't remember. Probably read it to me, to be honest.
Before she bought it, did she read it?
You like Gremlin. We were talking about it today. She's like, I like that movie. I'm like, you watch movies, Mom? Like, what?
And then you were talking about me.
So, but yeah, no, I know that it must have been a movie it was on in my house as a kid, but yeah, I have no memory really of it. I consider it, I mean, it's a light horror movie.
This is kind of like junior horror. This is the kind of horror movie I'd let my son watch, and with caution, because it's goopy, it's gross, it's slimy, and it's got some really great moments of tension. There's I don't know the director's other work. I didn't get a chance to research beforehand, but this has some excellent moments of tension building, and it is paced in moments like a horror, almost slasher movie. There's a lot of slasher elements in this too.
Yeah,
especially when Mom is murdering them in broad daylight by putting them into the juicer and into the microwave. Who else thought of Maniac Mansion when that scene happened? I did. Yeah, so this straddles that line, and I would say this probably does the mixture of Christmas and Halloween as good, if not a scooch better than The Nightmare Before Christmas, which of course everybody points to as like, oh, that's the movie that combines Halloween and Christmas. I think this does probably a little better in again straddling that line. I agree with you, Ken. I don't know if I would really, given my metrics, classify this as a Christmas movie, but it's pretty darn close.
I'm gonna butt in here, but
yeah, please.
In my mind, there's no question that this is a Christmas movie. Like it.
No question, it is. Okay.
It absolutely is a Christmas movie. Gizmo's given as a Christmas present.
Yeah.
That present doesn't happen unless it's Christmas.
Or birthday or anniversary or congrats on your graduation or I don't know.
Just because.
Here's my thing for Christmas movies. I'm not going to get into this. I've lost friendships over this comment, and it all comes from the Die Hard conversation, which I tell myself every year. I'm not getting into it.
Not popped up yet on a Christmas poll and won't.
That is not a Christmas.
I know and I can't do it.
It's not because it's not a Christmas movie. It's not because you can watch Die Hard all year round, and you can watch Gremlins all year round. You can't watch It's a Wonderful Life in June unless you're a nifty hipster who's like, yeah, I can. I'll watch The Grinch Stole Christmas in August. It's like
Wonderful Life at all, but
hello, Christmas in July.
Yeah, exactly. Stop. Okay, you're just being too cool for the room. Not you, Tiff. I'm just saying others who think that way. Not to get into that debate. I think this is as close as that. It's you can make the argument and make a good argument for this. I think it's on the fence. I would probably say Christmas because it is so saturated with Christmas iconography. And as I was watching it, I was looking for all the cues, and it is saturated in the holiday season more than just a setting. So while I don't think the movie itself is reliant on the holidays, nor does it bring about any feelings of the holidays or even stereotypical or non-stereotypical, right? Like we're going to see Krampus pretty soon. That's a non-stereotypical feelings of the holidays. I don't know. I think it's close, but you can make a strong argument because it is so saturated with the holiday season that it's kind of hard to ignore the seasonality of it. But with that said, I could watch Gremlins in October or in May. This is not something I think I would need to see. Like, oh, I gotta wait till Christmas to see Gremlins. I don't think I need that, and that's one of the big defining points for me when it comes to Christmas movies.
Ken, do you have anything you want to say about that? A rebuttal?
Rebuttal for
No, I don't want this podcast to get off track.
That never happens.
what?
This conversation could be its own show because I've thought very long and hard about this, and I have very definitive opinions about this ridiculous topic. I've legitimately gotten to online arguments when I was young enough and dumb enough to actually get into online arguments and not realize they were exercises in futility. I've actually had strong debates with people about this very topic. This is not we are talking about Gremlins, which is a movie that takes place during the Yuletide season. All right, that's and I think you can definitively say that for sure, 100%. Ken, do we like this movie in general, overall?
I mean, I can't really say anything against it necessarily. You brought it up earlier. This is what the youth are calling gateway horror now. This is gateway horror. This is usually an entrance into the horror genre. Like you said, it's absolutely a good movie for a child to watch, not just because it's rated PG-13, and it is the hardest PG-13 I've seen in a while.
That was PG.
Woof. Yeah, that's what I mean.
PG when it came out. Now it's probably PG-13 because it should not
it's still
be.
PG.
Oh, it should not be.
It's wild, but this was before PG-13, and this was executive produced by the person who brought us the PG-13 rating, Steven Spielberg.
I saw his name was attached to this pretty early because there's an Indiana Jones parody poster. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm surprised they got away with that. And I see his name, like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, he was instrumental in the PG-13 rating creation.
Was he really? I did not know that. Huh.
It was, he went to the MPA specifically due to feedback from this and Temple of Doom to make that happen.
That makes sense. I really need to watch that movie again, Temple of Doom.
Temple of Doom it's great. It's great. Has anyone seen anything else from Mr. Joe Dante? Because this is what he's most known for. Okay.
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh, really? Okay. I did not do the research, so I will let you fly.
All right. So Joe Dante started directing in the late 70s, mid to late 70s. He directed a little movie called Piranha.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Another little movie called Rock and Roll High School.
I've never seen that, but
me either.
It's kind of a cult classic.
Oh,
mainly because the Ramones did the song.
Okay, I have seen that.
Rock, high school.
Oh, yeah. See what else he did.
Like, he's done a lot of other things. He did a movie a little while after this called Explorers, which I think is one of the greatest kids in space movie ever.
Is that one you talk about, Tiff?
What?
Explorers? With Ethan Hawke as a kid?
Yeah, Ethan Hawke, River Phoenix.
No, I've never seen that one. What space movie do I talk about?
I don't know, but there's a space movie you talk about, I think, with kids.
Maybe
it's
he
Critters.
did The Burbs with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Small Soldiers.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I've
Looney
seen that one.
Tunes back in action. He is mostly known for his werewolf film, The Howling.
That's okay. Yes.
Is that the one with Jack Nicholson? No,
that was just Wolf.
Okay. Well, I feel like I've seen it. I've definitely heard of it, but I can't remember.
The Howling is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, Howling is pretty. Yeah, that may show up on your poster, sir. Maybe. What do you think?
It's entirely possible.
It's very possible it's going to show up on your poster
because it is.
I'm so excited for that poster.
Damn good movie.
We get to scratch one off soon.
Call.
We'll let Bill play this time.
But basically, Joe Dante kind of hovers in that area of, he does good work in horror. He directed one of the segments for Twilight Zone, not the one that got people killed. Looking at you, John Landis. But he also does some great family stuff too. So like he's just a good director.
Never really heard of him.
Oh,
so
I definitely suggest that if you're interested at all, you go seek out his work. Very good. Recently, he did a horror anthology movie, directed a segment in Nightmare Cinema which is just
how
murderer's
is
row. Great.
yeah? How is that?
I love that.
Yeah, I've always seen the poster or trailer for it, not trailer, but like the little demon in the front I recognize, and I'm like, I just wonder if that's any good. Anthology makes me curious. Okay, worth checking out. All right.
It's got a few different stories in there and directed by a bunch of different people. David Slade, director of Hard Candy.
Mm-hmm.
Ryuhei Kitamura, director of, God, what was that? Versus? Yeah, Versus and Midnight Meat Train. Mick Garris did a lot of the Stephen King television stuff, including The Stand and the Shining miniseries.
Right. Yep.
Joe Dante, of course. Alejandro Bruget. Like, there's a lot of really great directors doing their work in that one. So, not Gremlins, but hey, go watch Nightmare Cinema.
And I do also want to mention, because if I remember correctly, the writer, I know the writer was Chris Colombo, and I know that name because he did Home Alone, which I've never seen, but he's done a lot of movies that I'm familiar with. He was a real famous writer.
Have we not done Home Alone?
I don't want to.
I think he directed the first two.
Harry Potter,
Yeah, Harry Potter's.
Yep. Yes, he did. Chris Columbus.
Yeah.
So he's done a lot of movies that I actually have seen. I actually like that movie, Stepmom. I guess he wrote and directed that. Or no, he didn't write it, but he directed that. That's a good movie.
Yeah, he also directed Adventures in Babysitting.
The Goonies. Oh, he actually wrote the Goonies. I'm sorry. He wrote the Goonies. I'm sorry. Yeah.
He wrote the Goonies.
Should really watch that someday.
Yeah.
I'll keep saying that until it happens someday on this podcast, even though I know I'm the one that can make it happen. But
I think a movie you love, Mike, Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Isn't that one of the ones that you famously adore?
I saw it once. It was okay. It was also on this podcast.
I know. That's why I'm saying it.
It's one of the few episodes that's not even like in the movie thing, because it was a combo episode, and I was like, I'm going to do more of these. I have not.
Combo episode?
I did the
game and the movie. Yeah,
it was a different time.
That's weird.
Yep.
But I forgot all about that movie. I forgot that movie existed. The books are good. I don't even remember my opinion on it. It's been so long, Bill.
I just remember Percy Jackson being a movie that's been mentioned many times as a reference on this show. But Gremlins, Gremlins, do we want to go beat by beat? How do you want to tackle this this little holiday shindig?
Beat by beat.
We can go beat by beat. I got notes for that too.
Let's do that. I feel.
So the first question: this movie starts off with the narrator, who you find out is the main character's father. Is he in China? He says he's in Chinatown. I was trying to figure out: is he actually in China, or is he literally just in a Chinatown?
He's in a Chinatown, and this
Well,
really
Chinatown
begins
is
the nebulous geography of this movie.
That is fair,
because like almost every big city has a Chinatown.
I did not know that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's
this Chinatown.
Yeah, most big cities will have a Chinatown of some sort. This is basically any suburb USA. This is idyllic. Yeah, it's just idyllic suburbia, right? You know, and works perfectly fine for that.
Supposedly, it's in Pennsylvania.
Oh,
Kingston Falls is the city this takes place in.
Okay, but he traveled all over the freaking it feels like he's traveling long distances in this movie.
He is. He's a hustler.
In short amount of time.
That too.
Yeah, he's hustling. He's out there trying to get people to buy his world-changing inventions.
Right?
That are terrible.
Smokeless ashtray.
Like, the ideas are good.
Execution not.
Wasn't that an 80s thing about movies about people that are trying to invent stuff? I feel like I've seen multiple 80s movies that had that theme. Never seen that.
Telling you, it was a
Okay.
good days. Probably Back to the Future as well.
Yes.
You're right then. Yep. Several movies.
Back to the Future 100% is what went through my mind with this movie.
There's
a lot.
reason for that. Kingston Falls is the same set as Hill Valley in Back to the Future.
Is it really?
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
I wonder it gave that vibe off.
I thought that little Chinatown back alley looked familiar.
Yeah, it was on the Universal backlot, and right after this was done, they shot Back to the Future there.
Oh, funny.
That's cool.
So that's fun.
That makes more sense now. Yeah, a little bit, because it does have a Back to the Future vibe to it. It's not as good.
No, but Back to the Future is almost perfect. So I mean, come on now. It's hard to compare anything to Back to the Future.
Guys, and you're Back to the Future.
First one's really good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
But that's not what we're here for.
Gremlins.
Neither here nor there.
So I was also thinking, as I was thinking, do you think there's any Big Trouble in this China that he was in? But I guess not. Huh?
He brought it home.
He did. He did.
Little Trouble in Big China?
Little Trouble in Big Trouble in Big Suburbia. I guess I don't know. What I like about this opening, it sets up a lot of intrigue. I think this is a good opening. It's a lot of mystery around this box, and they do a very good job of kind of hiding Gizmo as much as humanly possible. And again, this is where it kind of leans back into the horror movie slasher stuff. Obviously, Gizmo is adorable. There's nothing horrible about Gizmo. He is just the cutest little thing ever. I was amazed at all the different faces and models they had to have made of Gizmo to make this happen. And as a practical effect, you still buy it hook, line, and sinker, literally 30 years
100%.
later, 40 years later.
A real creature.
That's a creature of our world. I believe he's out there somewhere. It's just not our world.
It's an adorable creation. Yeah. But it looks realistic because, it is a real thing. It's a real prop, which is so nice.
CG.
What's that?
Couldn't do that with CG.
No, you could not. It would look rubber-faced and terrible.
So was he a puppet or an animatronic or both?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the answer I was expecting.
A little of both, yeah. A little of both, depending on the situation. Or just a stuffed animal on a string that was flying around. That could be, it's probably the third incarnation of a little Gizmo.
Yeah. There had to be, you could just kind of tell that they had to, in order to get him to do all the things they need him to do, I'm sure they had to find different ways to manipulate the model. And it works well. He's very believable as a living thing in this movie.
What about the Gremlins?
They're good too. They're a little more jokey and terrible creatures, but they feel like they could be more real. But not as Gizmo. There's just something about Gizmo's aesthetic that he just feels like he would be a real creature in our world, where the Gremlins feel a little too out there.
You want to know what it is? I think it's the eyes.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Yeah.
Those are soulful eyes. Like, they somehow managed to give this animatronic doll soulful eyes. And that, I think, communicates more of his nature than anything else. That and Howie Mandel's great vocalization.
Oh, it's fantastic. Fantastic. Yep.
We actually have a signed Gizmo Funko Pop.
Not freak out.
No, we have from Mark Dodson, who is unfortunately not with us anymore. He did the Gremlins, and he did the little yellow monster in Return of the Jedi. Yeah.
Oh, that thing.
Salacious.
He's like
Wait, what? What is that thing's name?
Scrum.
I didn't know that. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Luke. Thanks, George. Cool. Anyway, so yeah, I think the eyes are definitely there. It's in a very expressive model. It's a very simple model, but very, very expressive, and that leans a lot into believing the realism behind it.
Yeah, and that helps this movie a lot by having him the way he is and having him be believable. And it's just a very, just the opening is very subtle and cute, where he's at the store, he's just trying to sell his stupid product, and then he hears the little Mogwai, and he's like, well, how much for this thing? And the guy's like, for sale.
That sounds like, Grandpa.
We need the money.
Grandpa, what are you doing?
We need to give a shout out to Key Luke as the grandfather.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's good. And he started his career back in the 30s, I think.
Oh, damn.
I was reading up on him, and this dude has been a lot his entire life. He started out as a matte painter for the studio. He would paint the background mats. Some of his artwork is in the original press book for King Kong.
Yo. Wow.
That's
cool.
It's wild. And he was in a good chunk of the Charlie Chan movies back then. We don't really talk about those movies that much anymore because, white people playing Asian, not really a great look.
Yeah.
But he was Charlie Chan's son, and he was very Asian. So I guess you just can't have leads back then. But also, Randall Peltzer is played by Hoyt Axton. Now, Hoyt Axton, you've probably seen him. He's been in a bunch of stuff. TV, a lot of TV, some movies. But, that's the dad. Most interestingly, though, he was a songwriter. And he wrote a little song called Joy to the World for Three Dog Night.
Wow.
So he was pretty much set forever. And then he just started doing the acting thing, too. And he goes way back. He was in Roger Corman's original Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh, I have actually never seen that.
I'm surprised with how much
Oh,
you
wait.
love Little Shop of Horrors.
No, he wasn't. Somebody else was. My mistake. I apologize.
okay.
But
Committed to the musical. Leave me alone.
No, that's fine. You'd probably be upset, to be honest.
I would be super upset. So.
So, all right.
but
No, I
he,
just
he really brings the humanity to the role.
no, he does a great
No,
job.
He does a good job.
And he's got confidence in himself.
Right.
Never once is like, oh, my inventions suck. He's just like, no, they're great. You
This
want
is
them?
gonna solve
Everybody's
world
gonna want 'em.
hunger.
He's a huckster in the classic sense. He's a fake it till you make it kind of guy, and I respect that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
he's
to
the
be
best.
a good salesman, I have said this line in multiple places, and I think people wonder, like, you have to be a good bullshitter to be a good salesman.
Yeah,
I
you gotta be a showcaser.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, you got to have morals, but you have to be able to like elaborate on your product. Like it's always that's just how it is. That's how you're going to sell it. That's how you're going to stand out. I mean, that's just salesmanship. So now there's something I was thinking about with this movie. But no, I like him. The Chinatown stuff I think is really well done too. Like where he, when he does buy Bagua and they tell him all the rules, like you can't feed him after midnight, you can't feed him, don't get him wet. And I'm thinking to myself, how the hell did he survive without water? But
Well, right? Can you not drink it either?
Nope.
Whoa, what?
I don't think so. I don't think they can drink it.
no, they can't be touched by water.
Well, now
You saw what happened when he jumped into the pool, so.
Randall said that he can't drink water,
Yes.
but he's probably heard the rules from the little boy who probably doesn't know the intricacies of the rules.
True.
Okay.
So, like, he probably can drink water.
But he doesn't need water, apparently.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean,
He-
debatable.
He doesn't get water in the movie until he starts giving birth.
It's awful.
That's nothing real giving birth is too, babe.
No, my mom said her kidney stone was worse. I'm sticking by that, and I've experienced that. I'm sticking by it. I don't need to have a baby. I had that pain already.
Oh, it does look so painful for poor Gizmo. It looks awful. But no, I mean, I like the idea where the kid just like, essentially steals him and then sells him to the guy.
Basically
Because they
saying,
need the
look,
money.
they need the money. They need the cash, and he thinks his dad is just the kid thinks he knows better, and clearly he does not, because old Pops was right. Boy, oh boy, they were not ready for what lied ahead.
Oh God, no.
I just want to spend like hours in that store though. Like it looks amazing.
Right? That's really cool.
It looks so cool.
I'm not much of a thrifter, but boy, oh boy, that thing that did look very neat.
Yeah, it really was. And then the movie cuts right to kids playing in the snow, and then you're brought to Pennsylvania, and the whole tone kind of changes. And I think it's also a good trope in a PG-13 horror movie where you want to like make the happiness go, oh, look how wonderful everything is before you start murdering everybody an hour later. I like that. I do. You guys have gotten like this is a fun horror movie for me.
Yeah, this is again Ken said it right. It's like a junior horror movie, which is it's good first touch into it, because again it has a lot of those tropes and has a lot of those ideas, which is really great.
It's still fun and cute.
I mean, I do got a couple quick questions that I was waiting to bring up to you guys, but for this, we're a scene coming up here that when I watch the movie, I'm like, I have to mention this. So when Billy's trying to get his car started and he can't get his car going, and then you have that guy who's like, well, that's because it's foreign. And I'm just like, oh.
I love that actor.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
you
love
better.
the racist guy in this movie. It's just hilarious.
You better put some respect on Dick Miller's name.
Oh yeah,
Nice him.
y'all better start be talking speaking some sugar, because boy oh boy has that man earned it.
Right.
No, Dick Miller was the one that was in the original Little Shop of Horrors that I was thinking.
Mhm.
He was up in a bunch of Roger Corman movies. Roger Corman was the one who found him.
He was
Oh,
an 80s
okay.
character actor, wasn't he? Or am I
Yeah,
wrong?
he
Yeah.
was like,
In every 80s
he has
movie.
been in so many things. Like, if you look him up on IMDb, he has 185 credits to his name.
Oh shit!
Damn.
Is he just a character actor?
Yeah.
But he's a good character actor. I was just wondering.
Oh, yeah, no, he's great.
He's a.
A lot of
He
work.
played this role really great. It was.
Yeah, he does.
He does Chucky Saul's voice in Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
I don't know what that is.
A very good animated movie.
Yep.
Just
He
has
was
Batman in it.
also in The Burbs.
Yeah.
He's been in most of.
Have you seen that, Michael?
Yes. A long time
He's-
ago.
He's in most of Joe Dante's movies, actually, after this.
Wow. Okay.
Like, he gets around, and he's just a joy. I think most of the people listening will probably remember him from Tales from the Crypt Demon Knight. He was Uncle Willie.
I don't know that.
I only know it because someone named Kenneth tried to get me to watch it once on the podcast.
But he's been around, and he's just a joy in everything he comes up. And even in this, where he's very much not a great person,
No.
he's kind of lovable.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's kind of like that uncle who comes to Thanksgiving and always says the inappropriate thing, but you're like, he's got some great stories. I don't know. He's been in a couple of wars. I can't completely kill the guy.
He'll give you some beer in the other room.
Yeah, exactly. He's the uncle that's gonna slip you a shot or two underneath the table. Yes.
Don't tell your mom.
Yeah, like
Come on, it's fine. It's Christmas.
Fine, it's Christmas. Have some wine.
whatever, your mom's not watching.
Exactly.
I really like him in this movie, and I think it's a play that part actually works well for what they're going for, like having him making those comments. It also fits the 80s very well to me.
Oh yeah,
Because
especially
like
during this time of the 80s.
1984. Yeah. This would be.
Mhm.
When is Reagan elected? 82? I can't remember when Reagan first.
Not quite sure.
But it reeks. I mean, well, Nixon's on a poster, so maybe Reagan. I can't.
81.
Okay, so yeah, this fits the 80s very, very well, that area. I mean, I do find it amusing later on when you see the guy as a Nixon poster. It did make me laugh, too. So, it kind of, like, to me, is like, yeah, you're going for a thing here, and I appreciate it. So, one of my big questions is, after that, Billy goes to work, and he brings his dog to work.
Yep.
Very charming. I find this a very nice beat. It shows that he's a good dude. He's a good egg.
What boss is letting you take your dog to work?
Well, he was
A good
hiding
one.
him.
He was hiding him. He was like, now be quiet.
Under the desk. That's how it was under the desk.
Yeah, but nobody's going to notice? Hell, my dog would be out there barking at every single person, but then again, that's what...
But that's a well-behaved dog.
What's that?
Not ours.
Sorry, I don't know what that is, babe.
Figure it out.
Yeah, that is a really well-behaved dog. But yeah, I was just wondering, like, how the hell do you get away with having a dog at work? Also, why do you want to bring your dog to work?
Because he knew that dog fucked up the snowman, and he was trying to keep the dog safe.
Hey, I've brought my dog to work before. I'm working in an office. I've done it. Done it
Okay.
numerous times.
I mean, I brought
just
my dog, but
I did
You
too.
show up with the dog and they say, "Oh, he's so cute," and they let you stay. What are they gonna do? Send you home? Cool, great,
right? Okay, I'll bring this dog more often.
fantastic. I mean, it's a win-win for me.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know. It was just something that I was thinking about because I worked in retail too many years, and I'm like, and then like this when you introduced to Mrs. Deagle or Miss Deagle, whoever, but she is a piece of shit, and I think it's wonderful.
Yeah, she is like pure garbage, and boy, oh boy, does that lady play her? The actress play her extremely well. She is evil McEvilson, as I've said a number of times on this show, and it's great. It's great. You need that one villain, and wow, how she exits this mortal coil is just
Good.
almost too good for her. She is not a good person, as we've
But she
alluded
really
to.
fits like for a Christmas movie, that Ebenezer Scrooge type character.
Yes.
And I'm assuming that's what they're going for.
Oh yeah, 100%. And there's nothing redeeming about her at all.
No, not a single thing. She has no hero turn whatsoever in this movie.
And
But
it's
did
great.
she own the
Love it.
bank, or she just was wealthy in the town?
I took it as she's the wealthiest person in town. She kind of runs things. She has an estate. You know, she probably has the biggest house in town. She's probably very politically connected. Yeah,
she owns all the real estate. Like the real estate place is hers.
Yep.
Okay.
So like she's just a heavy capitalist.
Yep.
And it's good to see that they get their comeuppance.
Oh boy, does she.
I find it weird how she's threatening to kill a dog at the bank. She's like, I'm going to kill your dog.
He's got so much money, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to cross her.
Gonna turn against her.
I mean, that is a fair thing.
She probably owns their house notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
Most
completely
likely.
fair. It was just something I was thinking about. Like, why are you threatening to kill somebody's dog in a public place because he killed a snowman? But this was the 80s, so.
Okay, well,
Because she's a bitch.
When she said that and the dog on the TV, his ears went back, so did PETA. She snapped her head, her ears went back, and I was like, we're not going to kill the dog. You're okay.
I want to mention this dog real quick.
I
Right?
love him.
This
So good.
dog is one of the best actors in this movie.
Yep.
I love his escape. I'm out of here. I ain't letting that lady kill me.
Like,
It's a real
Yeah.
dog. right there.
Goodbye.
yeah, that's an exceptionally trained dog. And this dog thought Gizmo was real throughout the entire movie.
Oh, I'm sure. There's no question.
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah.
Because it would have looked a lot suckier.
He's like, what the hell is this thing?
Wait, what's the dog's name?
I don't remember.
Mushroom. Well, that's the dog that played him. I think his name's like
Oh, what is
Murray?
it?
Is it
Say-
Barney? No.
Barney.
Is it
No.
Barney?
Is
No?
it? I think it's Barney.
No. I don't know. I thought it was.
They do. say
It
at one
is
point-
Barney. It is Barney. Yes, it is
Okay.
Barney. Yep.
There you go.
Because at one point the father says, "I'll take the dog," and he says his name, Barney, to the grandma's house or something because Miss Deagle wants to kill him.
Yeah,
So there's
it
a
is
comment to
Barney.
that. So I had an issue with this next scene. When they go to the bar and the fucking what is that actor's name? He's
In like every
yeah.
well.
You show some respect for Judge Reinhold.
Judge Reinhold, that's right.
I love that actor. I don't have a problem with him. I just his character he plays a sleazy character I had a problem with.
Plays a lot of sleazy characters.
Yes, he does.
He does,
But he plays
also,
them all. I'm not saying anything against it.
He's kind of doofy too. Like
Right?
Yeah.
he was
Yep.
in Fast Times at Ridgemont High
Yes.
with Phoebe Cates, who plays Kate in this movie.
Oh, that's that woman's character's name.
Yeah,
Throughout this entire movie, I never knew what her name was, but I must have missed it when they said it early and they don't say it again.
They say it like once.
Because I did not know her name was Kate. In my notes, I just kept writing girl. Well, I didn't know her name. I'm like, it's her name, so she's girl.
Or if you're Googling the actors, it says her character.
Not concerned.
he knows I'm going to pick up the slack on that one.
Yes,
name.
I do. Okay. But no, the guy asked Kate out, and I'm like, she works for you. What are you doing?
It was a different time.
I know that, and that's the manager in me coming out there because I used to run a retail store, and we had an asshole who was in charge who dated some of the cashiers or slept with like all of them. So
Yeah.
that
not Brittany. He didn't sleep
Yes, he
with
did.
Brittany. Did he?
yes,
Oh, just
What?
kidding. Sorry, Brittany.
Hope you don't listen. Hope you're not listening to the show. Oops, Daisy.
she's been on it, but she don't listen to it. No,
Yeah.
but no, yeah. So I take it more personal, where I'm like, you can't be doing that. Like, you can't be trying to date your freaking people that work under you.
Why are they doing Grey's Anatomy? Like all of them.
Yeah, and look what happened there. McDreamy turned into a killer.
Exactly. On Thanksgiving of all days.
Right.
Point is, hey, it's wrong, kids. Don't date your supervisors. Don't
No.
date the people you supervise.
Your boss,
Don't
no.
do it.
Yeah.
no, it
there's
never ends well. You know.
yeah, it's not going to be good.
No, that part bothered me. But that guy, he's not in this movie a whole bunch because you don't even see him once the Gremlins all show up later.
He was actually cut out.
Oh,
They had the script, and he was originally going to be going around town with Billy and Kate,
Oh.
and like they were going to be like an '80s trio of people. You know,
that's yep.
the dopey main character, the girl he's in love with, and the kind of bully who comes around to their side. You can't get a more '80s group than that.
Right.
No, that's an '80s thing, 100%.
But they chose to cut him out. The script actually had him running into the bank and closing himself up in the vault and losing his mind.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
So yeah,
Well
this
then.
script a lot darker than what made it to film.
I can imagine. I can
Yeah.
imagine. I'd actually like to read this original script. I'm sure it's out there
Same.
somewhere in the internet, in the interwebs.
Apparently, there were
interwebs.
graphic killings in the script.
Oh, God.
Nice.
Then it wouldn't have got its PG rating then, huh?
No.
Definitely set a different tone.
I mean, I think it could have worked. Again, they're not people, so it bothers me less. So I feel like if I'm that way, there's got to be other people that are like me that are less creeped out if it's something that is a monster versus a person.
Yes.
I can't be the only one that has that type of
Well, because
fear.
a lot, most of the evil people in the movie could be an evil person in real life.
Yes. That's why like Halloween kind of fucked with me a little bit. I really like that movie, but it did fuck with me a little bit. So, I don't know, it's something I always think about with horror movies now. Then you go to Billy at home, and this is when you kind of get more about the family, and they get given Gizmo. And I was wondering, like, how stupid is the father? Because he was told, don't show him bright lights, and when the mother is taking a picture, he doesn't say anything right away until after Gizmo freaks out.
Oh, yes, he does. She says, say cheese.
Yeah, he knew. He just wasn't. Well, he wasn't paying attention. That's the problem. But I guess
again, it's a natural thing. Again, you're not really, they're not used to, they're not used to taking care of this strange creature that nobody knows exists other than one person in Chinatown. So it's not like a well-known thing. Like, hey, don't feed a dog chocolate. It's not. I can see that be a slip up. And of course, you want to make sure the audience remembers what has happened. Again, this is a lot of the things that we sometimes look at, like, why did you do that? The answer is screenwriting 101. You have to kind of remind the audience of the things you told them earlier because they're eating popcorn. They didn't pay attention.
Like 30 seconds ago.
I mean,
yes.
People are dumb, so yes.
Yeah, it's a different, again, we can't rewind. Remember, it's the theaters. So no, I think it's good. I think it's good that they show this, and they actually show, it makes it more real when you see the adorable creature react negatively. Now that's imprinted in your brain because obviously light is going to be very, very important in this movie, and you have to remember the rules of the creatures in order to appreciate as things get chaotic and crazy. That little creature going, that just cements it in your brain as, oh, light bad, right? Yeah. So yeah, you have to do that because that's how movies are made, just how stories are written.
I would say that as a kid. If it was like dark and then someone turned on the light, I'd be like, bright light, bright light.
Did it bother you back then too?
What?
Bright light?
Yes. I've turned into a vampire since then. So.
Yes, that seems accurate. But everything like with Billy and Gizmo feels so true and real. It feels like he really cares for this puppet, and it's not a puppet. Like I love all that.
It's very cute.
So,
I am a fan.
You have him making the orange juice with a terrible looking machine with the oranges on the bottom, and it makes like sludge.
So I went down
Orange Julius. There you go.
I went down a very deep hole.
Oh God.
With these inventions.
I always love when you say that, Ken.
Because, I was like, okay, when was the first smokeless ashtray invented? When was the first commercially available juicer invented? When was the first food processor made available in homes? Is this like 1984? I don't know. And I was like, well, maybe there's somebody out there who was inspired by this movie. No, all these inventions were already made by this point.
Aww.
Oh, really? I mean, I'm pretty sure a juicer was made at this point, but I guess somebody like smokeless ashtray and okay.
Was there really a smokeless ashtray?
Yeah.
Was there really a remote control way of answering the phone?
That I didn't look up. But
okay, I was curious and is that an actual thing that exists? I mean, obviously exists today. We have cordless phones, but I mean, I'm just curious if that was like a thing of the era.
Because answer the phone.
Because I can imagine that being like seeing that in the movie theater in 1984, when like that would be the most amazing thing. I wouldn't have to get up to answer the phone. I could just hit a button and then a thing in my hand broadcasts it like a walkie-talkie. That's amazing.
It is amazing.
Amazing what the future can do. The phone of the future. There you are, Mike. Just for you, buddy. Just for you, man.
Thank you. I feel like something to be down in Rapture, so it's all right. Probably get bad signal though underwater. But so I have another question here that makes no sense, and this is capitalism. Why the fuck is the kid dressed up in a tree delivering trees?
It's called
like who said, here's your outfit, buddy. I'm gonna pay you $3 an hour. Put on this tree for me.
Like $5 a day.
That's probably his dad.
I think it's his dad. I honestly think it is his dad.
It's his
yeah,
dad, isn't it?
I do.
Okay.
I think it's actually mentioned that it's his dad's.
It is. I forgot. But yes,
it does leave a very funny line. What are you gonna do with it? I'm just gonna tell you someone. What do you say? A biker gang stole it from me.
Yeah.
Biker gang stole.
Good old Corey Feldman coming up again.
Love it.
I love
so
Corey
good,
Feldman.
guys. Dang it, Corey. He was so charming and so effortless on screen. He was an effortless actor.
He was cute when he was a kid.
Nah, he's got a face.
Fine.
Most people do.
Yeah,
I know.
This
the
is
way he portrayed
common.
himself was cute. I don't know. I think he's adorable.
Yeah, super cute.
See?
And this was far from the first thing he did. This same year, he was in Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
That's not the final chapter, though. I know that.
No, it's not.
No. They did a lot of them.
Because he's also in the next one, A New Beginning. And then from there, he goes on to star in Goonies, and it's all uphill from there because he's pretty much got the ride of his life going on.
Yep. Goonies was that was the jumping off point.
He was good now. He was adorable now.
Yeah.
You guys are convincing me to watch that movie next year.
Okay, no, we can just watch it. We can just watch a movie without having it on your podcast.
No, we can't. What are you
Yes,
talking
we
about?
can.
Crazy talk.
I ain't going to movies with you no more.
Crazy talk. But you also have Gizmo watching a lot of TV in this movie too, which I think is adorable because like he's even watching Invasion of the Body Snatchers is on there, the original black and white one at one point. I'm like, I want to watch that now.
It's great. It's real
And
good.
it is strangely appropriate because pod people.
Yep.
And
The choices for like the movies are very, very well drawn. It's very well observed. Some of the choices they make, and then it's how it kind of links up, kind of sort of with the different things going on. It's very smart.
And this is when you have the first time where Gizmo gets wet and then he gives birth, which looks so painful.
it just busts out a bunch of tribbles.
Tribbles. They really do look like tribbles.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were just balloons with fur on them.
That's so
really?
good. I love it.
Oh, that's
I
great.
love practical effects. Can we just go back to it a simpler time?
Please, like I miss the practical effects. I think that's why I'm drawn to the older movies because everything is practical.
They had no choice.
I know,
Yeah.
but still.
I mean, I like CGI, but if you can do practical, just do practical sometimes. Like, it's not even cheaper.
Right? It has to be.
Like, I'm sure a balloon with fur didn't cost a whole lot to make.
No, but Gizmo and the Gremlins did.
Oh boy, I'm sure they did. Yeah.
A lot of money.
What was the budget for this movie? Out of curiosity, I didn't even look at that.
11 million.
Still, that's a lot for 1980, maybe whatever. That's a good
84.
chunk of change. Yeah, that's a good chunk of change for that era. Made
And it went on to make
212
every
million. Good lord.
Yeah, that's a wild amount of money.
Wow. Wowie zowie.
That's why we got a sequel.
And like,
And a whole bunch of toys and video games and spin-offs and everything else for the Christmas season.
something to consider also is that like this is, I'm pretty sure the same year as Ghostbusters.
Oh,
That
really?
sounds right.
Yeah, like that summer of '84 was unstoppable.
Yeah.
Summer of 84.
Yeah, but back to Gremlins. I think we're at the point where little Gizmo is now, which is of course the perfect name for this little creature. I mean, could you think of a better name for a little monster than Gizmo?
It really works.
Totally.
One of my cats that, but I could never find like the right cat.
You got to get a white cat with, like, my parents had a cat named Gizmo. They had two cats named Gizmo, actually.
Gizzy?
Yeah. The first Gizzy was named Gizmo, and then he died, and another Gizzy came in their life. But I don't know if he was ever called Gizmo. But
Creative.
it really is, huh? You know, like, hey, she picked a real creative name for her son, too, Michael. It's a really uncommon name. You never meet anyone else named Michael. But I tell her to all the time. I'm like,
At least your last name wasn't Peterson.
No, there's a lot of them.
That would have been awful.
There's a lot of Petersons. I run into them, too, in my job.
SON,
That's the one more popular, by the way. Which you know quite well. What? What was I saying?
We keep being distracted.
Mhm.
It's all your
He makes baby. He tells the dad. I think the dad's first idea is like, "Hey, can I sell this?"
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Hey, always a huckster, always out there trying to get the next big idea. Love it.
One in every household. Where
This will
that's from
replace-
Little Shop of Horrors, like Little Shop of Horrors. One in every household.
Yeah, how'd that work out for them, huh?
Not very well.
Just
Man,
what
you'll
it's
be
supposed to do
rich.
here.
You won't have it for very long. 'Cause,
This will one day this will one day replace the family dog. The dog looks up like, yeah, so cute.
It is cute. And when you see the Mogwais playing with toys down by the Christmas tree, they ripped open everything. I think that's an adorable scene. Like, I really like that scene.
So I'm sure if you looked at all, you would know that Mogwai is actually means something.
I did not know that.
Oh, well, that's.
I did not
fun.
look this up.
Teach me something.
It is
Teaching with
Cantonese, and it means devil.
Oh my.
Oh, that is on the nose like nothing.
Yeah.
Gizmo's not the devil.
No, but did you meet his brothers or his children?
His children, yeah, but I didn't.
Okay, so remind me toward the end of the episode. I want to bring this up because that's a question that bothered me a lot throughout this movie. Why Gizmo?
Why they call him Gizmo?
No, why is he nice but everybody else is shitty?
See, that's what I was wondering too.
Oh, I have an answer.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I might have an answer. I think I might have an answer too, but go ahead. We'll save that for the end. That's a good ending.
We'll get
Okay.
there. But, you know, it's It's fun. And this is unfortunately when you find out that, maybe the Mogwai are little devils
These mongrels.
because they got to eat after midnight.
The dog in Christmas lights, and then he blames Miss Deagle for breaking in their house and taking their dog.
Which is a natural thought. Yeah, natural thought. She has been threatening to murder their dog for most of this movie. Totally fair assumption. The assumption wouldn't be, I wonder if there's like a magical creature out there that's like stringing up dog. Yeah, no, crazy banker lady. Just wants to threaten the life of cute little puppers because why not?
Why not?
Because he
on my
killed a snowman.
Imported snowman from wherever.
I think it was it Belgian or I thought Hungary, like Hungarian or Belgian.
I think it was Belgium.
Yeah, it was Belgium. Yeah, I think that's
Why
right.
are you importing a snowman?
Did she put it on her carry-on?
But I guess if you got money, you got money. So there's a different world. Like, yeah.
So did she order it from I have so many questions about the snowman.
Oh.
Okay, never mind.
All right, let me see here. Okay, then you have the mother in the kitchen, and you just see more of the weird machines, and there being machine issues because all his inventions suck. Like, I'm assuming the coffee machine existed by this point. Why do you need to make one? Like, I know it existed. I don't assume.
Yeah, but you should always try to make a better one. And also, I forgot how much I enjoy the handmade nature of like a lot of the handmade gadgetry for some reason in movies is a fun trope for me. There is a movie that I don't think anybody saw called Mood Indigo. It came out in 2013 and it was directed by Michel Gondry, who most famously did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh,
And yeah, and this is very I like it quite a bit. It is fun and full of whimsy until it turns into the saddest thing you've ever seen in your life. And anyway, but there's a lot of that in that movie where it's kind of like these very creative ways to boil an egg or to play a record player. I don't know why I just like gadgetry, I guess, maybe in movies is a fun little trope for me. So I always smiled whenever I saw one of his ill-fated machines blowing up or spitting orange pulp everywhere. I don't know, just made me smile whenever I saw that.
Okay. Well, that's fair. You have, and then he takes one of the Mogwai, or does he take Gizmo to school, or one of the Mogwai?
No,
he takes Gizmo.
It's not Gizmo. It's one of the other ones.
Oh, okay.
The goofy one with the eyes.
Strife?
Strife?
No, Stripe.
Stripe?
No, Stripe is his name, not Strife.
Stripes at home.
Yeah, Stripes
Okay.
at home. Yeah.
Okay, because he brings some. Because I thought.
It's a goofy little one that has the eyes and it's like.
Yeah, and then he gets stabbed in the ass with a needle.
Right.
And then that blood, because they did do something that I thought was kind of cute. The blood doesn't look like our blood; it looks like a dry blood because they don't consume water.
Oh,
So,
I never even thought about that.
if you
That's
look
pretty
at in
clever.
that scene, it's looks like a dry powder in the syringe. It doesn't look like a wet blood, and I was like, well, yeah, it makes sense because they don't consume water. Therefore, they're not liquid-based creatures like us.
Oh, I know.
Interesting.
Good job.
Sometimes I do make good, but yeah, no, they do the water again to him because they make him have a baby. So someone had a baby.
It's not Gizmo.
Well, someone had a baby. Somebody got pregnant.
The test subject number 52. I don't know. For some reason I got really strong, and again, maybe I'm just a crazy person, which is fine, well established. I got serious. Okay, dang it. I got serious Jeffrey Combs vibes from the science teacher, like Reanimator vibes when he was like, "Come here, little guys, gonna take some blood." I don't know why, just his delightful face flashed in my eyes, and I just said, Bill, maybe you should talk to somebody about that because I don't know why that came to mind as soon as I was watching this fun family film.
Fridge. Did you want me to leave a note? Late for work.
It's like
I think the 40th anniversary of that movie is coming up soon, I think, actually.
Oh, Reanimator.
Yeah, I think so.
I can't believe that movie is on this podcast.
It was a while ago.
Yes, it was. It was a long time ago, but it's part
Yeah,
of the
no,
podcast.
he absolutely gives like mad scientist vibes.
Yeah, he has this kind of like this grin, like this mad scientist, like, hey, I am enjoying this way too much. Yeah, just a little blood test.
I think it's because he sees the Mogwai as a way out of high school.
Oh,
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Perfect sense. Oh, good job, Ken. That would explain why he's there as long as he is. Because at one point you see that he stays in the office till 3 a.m. working.
Yeah, his office at school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he stays there.
Okay.
So.
It doesn't leave till like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah, because they show a clock, and then at the same time when they're showing the scene where Billy's feeding them, and they both get fed after midnight.
Oh boy! And that's when you find out the little bastards. The next morning, you find out that they gnawed through the clock cable.
I love that.
What a great moment.
So I have a question about this whole midnight thing. I mean, wouldn't it matter where they came from, where they're born? Because what about daylight saving time? Do they know about that, do you think? That we're a stupid country that still has that? Like,
what part of Arizona are they from?
Yeah, I was wondering all those things. I mean, there should be a little more details here about, like, after midnight.
Their biological clock switches wherever they go. Okay?
Yeah, I can tell you from experience, when daylight savings time changes, the kitty's clock in his stomach does not change.
I think if you check under its tongue, you can see what time zone that they were actually spawned in. So then you just like, oh, they're Central. Okay, they're Central. So I just got to make sure I'm always going 2 hours ahead. I don't know.
I know, but it's just one of those stupid things that I thought about. I'm like, but you do have a small part. Two things I want to mention. One, Billy does ask the girl out when he's walking her home, Kate, which doesn't, he doesn't really get to take her out, but it does.
That's because they were running from green little skinny things.
He goes to rescue her. But you also have the racist guy that's going to drive home drunk and then doesn't.
That's my grandpa. I'm not even kidding. They wouldn't. They'd be like, you need to walk home. Well, I'm too drunk to walk. I'll drive.
Wow.
And he drove better drunk, apparently.
He drove better drunk, apparently. I live upon stories because he died about 6 months before I was born.
Aw.
Not from drinking, actually, surprisingly. But...
No, from smoking.
Yeah.
He did that with his oxygen, so that was fun.
I mean, hey, if there is an issue, the good news is it'll go by quick. You'll be kablooey.
He didn't care. He was dying anyways.
It'll be a big kablooey. A very quick kablooey, I'm assuming. I guess it doesn't take very long.
Yeah, very, very much so of its time, again, of its era. You know, I'm fine. I've heard that story before.
Yeah, it's... But I mean, I like how they keep bringing up like him just being like, they put gremlins inside the imported parts from, foreigners, and I'm just like, man, you could be in 2024 and you would sound like a real person.
I do love that he has like an existential breakdown after finding out that some of the parts in his snowplow are foreign made.
Like,
that is really funny and good. I like that a lot. He's literally just drinking his problems away. Unfortunately, poor guy. Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe they put foreign parts in my
American car.
In my American car. I can't believe this news.
He's so upset too.
His wife, like most of the time you see her, is just kind of smiling, like maybe.
So I married you when I was 18. I got no choice. So death do we part. Yeah.
She was on some sort of happy pills. I guarantee you. We need some.
She is largely the same in Gremlins too.
Yeah, she is.
But I like how with the doctor he leaves a sandwich too close, and then the gremlin just like grabs it and eats it. And then with Billy, we talk about where he gets tricked and feeds him chicken. Was that raw chicken he fed them to?
It was just very unseasoned.
I think it was already cooked.
Yeah, I think it was cooked.
Okay.
Yeah,
you got out of the fridge. Well, I guess it could still be raw if you got out of the fridge.
It was probably baked like, the healthy 80s chicken.
It was white people's chicken.
White people.
It did not look like good chicken. How about that?
I didn't care.
Well, they're little gremlins. Literally. About to be. And they look so happy when they eat, though. Oh, God, do they look happy.
And Mike, did the World War II fan in you really appreciate the mention of gremlins as the little creatures that were rumored or theorized to? Was it World War II or World War I? I forget what it was. Where the idea, if you said you had like a gremlin in your plane or a gremlin, it was a thing in propaganda where they would say, "Oh, watch out for the gremlins," because
I'm not sure on that one actually.
What does that come up in another movie where they like short out the electricity, or it's a little creature? No, it like bounces from electrical items.
I'm not sure. No, I think you're something. I mean, definitely sounds like something. I just don't know what it is. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist. That just means I just don't know.
Sorry, I didn't keep the Wikipedia page open when I looked into it. The term gremlins was used, I believe, in World War II in propaganda, in American propaganda, as a like, hey, make sure you keep your guns clean. Make sure you check the oil on your airplane, or else the gremlins could get in there. And they kind of was like this fanciful, almost folk tale of the day. Watch out for the gremlins in your plane.
I would not be surprised, especially when it came to the Japanese side of the war. I would not be surprised in the least amount, because did they get the propaganda get crazy with Japanese? Well, not crazy, racist and terrible, but yeah, because the countries tend to be racist every so often throughout its history. So hey,
It happens.
yeah, I know way too much about the Japanese side than I didn't before, because that wasn't talked about in school. For some reason, they don't talk about the war in the East as much. But that, yeah, everybody is terrible on that. When you look at that war, what the Japanese did, everything, it's awful.
Mhm.
But yeah, we're not going today. So the next morning is when she sees all the cocoons, or they all see all the cocoons, which those things are cool. I like how the teacher is very much like, oh, there's metamorphosis, and he's really like all talking about it and interested.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I looked
The man
it up.
loves the
I
science.
think it's from Gremlins 2.
Oh, there's an electric gremlin and Gremlin 2?
It says.
Yeah.
That was in my little book. Not you reminded
So
me.
maybe that's what I'm thinking of. I feel like it's not, though.
It could be.
It could be.
We'll find out someday when we watch that movie.
We'll be watching it soon.
I'm assuming that movie's not a Christmas movie, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
It's just some random time of year. They don't really specify, I don't think.
Okay. I was just curious. The mother is making cookies, which comes to play very soon after this.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I hear the song, Do You Hear What I Hear? I don't know if that's what it's called, but
That's how it starts.
every time I hear it, I associate it with this film my entire life.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
It is absolutely wild, just a very far out there thing, that Billy's mom looks so much like Ali Sheedy looks now. It
Wow.
is wild.
Good pull.
Who's
Good
Ali
pull.
Sheedy?
Ali Sheedy was an star from the 80s. She was in Breakfast Club.
Oh!
She was the goth one that got all pinked up, and I was like,
Immediately when
ugh.
she said that.
She's the one in Psych.
Destroyed a
also.
work of art.
She was like,
But like it's so wild because Ali Sheedy was on Psych for quite a few episodes
she was good on that Psych.
Yes, she is.
I loved her on Psych.
and looks very similar to Frances Lee McCain in this movie. It's wild.
Yeah, you are right. No, and then you see the dad at the convention. I do like that with all the different random inventions that are there.
The rope
Oh,
in the back just spout
Uh-huh.
out random stuff.
the time machine in the background is the best.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite little Easter egg in this. One of my favorite Easter eggs in this movie, because did you guys notice that? I'm sure you did, Ken, because you're mentioning it. In the first scene, they're showing him out talking on the phone. There's this random time machine looking thing, and then in the next shot, when you come back to him, it's gone, and they're like fanning. They're like, where did it go? It's so funny. A very good psych gag. I really, really dug that.
Yeah, and it's not just any time machine. It's the time machine from H.G. Wells.
I was going to say that looks like a famous-y time machine. I just couldn't place it. Yeah, it's H.G. Wells movie.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's so
I did not
great.
catch that.
very good, very good bit.
And then this is when you have the Mogwai hatching. And the first scene I think you see here is the the teacher is trying to find him. And I like how the teacher gets killed. How he reached under the desk, and then it's kind of reminded me of Jurassic Park where his hand gets eaten. But then when Billy comes in shortly, this is when he finds the teacher dead. And I did catch this: the needle's in the ass. He stabbed him with the needle. Well, he asked him. He's like, "You've forgiven me for drawing your blood, right, little guy?" Nope, he did not.
Nope.
I mean, how do you draw blood from someone's ass? Except, I mean, he didn't even try. He's just like, poke.
Stabbed him in the ass.
I think he just did it as a kind of a, you know what?
Fuck you.
You're dead. I'm going to stab you now. How do you fucking like it?
A stab of opportunity, a stab of convenience.
There we go.
Stab of convenience.
I like that.
I'll take it.
So, this is really when shit starts to hit the fan.
No boy, does it.
All throughout the town.
Well, did we get to the point where? So we got to the point where I'm just trying to place where we are. I'm sorry, I'm trying to place where we are.
No, you're fine.
Did we get to the gremlin murder scene, which is one of my favorite? We didn't get there yet, right?
Very much about to where Billy, he goes in the bedroom, he calls his mother, I think, to tell her that, everything's watch out for the gremlins, and then it cuts to Gizmo on a dartboard, and then it shows her going up to check on the noises when she gets the phone call.
Poor Gizmo.
Because they throw Gizmo down the laundry chute, so he's out of the picture for a bit, and then this is when she's upstairs, then she hears the music, which is the song that Tiffany had referenced. Do you?
Gotcha.
Is it Do You Hear What I Hear?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Do You Hear What I Hear? Yep. Do You
Is
Hear
that
What I
what
Hear?
it's called?
I'm pretty confident. I don't know. I just know it as Do You Hear What I Hear? But I love this whole thing. But give mom a few more minutes and a little more opportunity. She would have solved the problem in minute 40 of this movie. She would have figured it out because she was very efficient at murdering these evil gremlins. She was so good.
Put
Fearless.
it in the blender or whatever.
We have one that goes into the juicer, which is great.
Yeah.
And
Great.
again, and it's just spraying green goop everywhere, which again, this is where I remind me, like, oh, this is like this has slasher movie vibes to it. And then
But she didn't even flinch. She was like, all right, bring on the next one.
Bring on the next one. Next one gets stabbed in the chest with a carving knife. And then the third one gets Maniac Mansioned and in the microwave. And it's so good. And she almost takes care of the fourth if it weren't for, a Christmas tree in the way.
And one thing I love about this scene is that's when Billy comes in. And earlier in the movie, when Billy first goes in the house, he knocks down one of those swords. And I remember going, that's going to play a part later now.
Yep. Again, good filmmaking. That's just smart screenwriting. Good stuff. Love when they do that.
Same. And it's so good. And he just cuts off the head and it lands in the fireplace.
Yeah. And this is me. Again, this is me as a crazy person going, oh, this is so fun and good. And then this is where I was also thinking, like, could my 8-year-old handle this? And I don't know just yet. I'm not sure.
9 might be the magic number.
9 or 10. I just
9 or 10, yeah.
Yeah, because he's seen some grody stuff, but this is again entry level horror. I think like 10 or 11, maybe. Yeah, I don't think just yet. And again, not because I wanted to save my son from things poisoning his mind. I don't want him waking up in the middle of the night or refusing to take showers now or refusing to go to movies because the gremlins. Right, because that's just going to inconvenience me. And we've had this conversation on this show and on my show as well.
Dad, Bill.
Listen, I am concerned for his mental well-being. Trust me, we go to great lengths to help him explore and learn things and discover things and all the things. But at the end of the day, his life is better when mom and dad are well slept. Okay? His life is better when mommy and daddy get rest. It is. It just is. And if there is something that is going to ruin that, then I am going to, for my sanity and his eventual well-being, going to not avoid it. So yes, that's that. I'm sorry. It's called self-preservation. It's caring for kids by caring for yourself. Yes, that is a thing.
Yes, this is true. That's great though.
No, I get that 100%. And then you see that Stripe escapes because all the gremlins get killed, but Stripe, which is important.
Yes.
And then Billy finds Gizmo, and then I have in my notes, Billy goes to YMCA. I don't know why he went to there. Like, I guess because about the water thing, because he finds Stripe in the pool, or jumps into the pool.
I feel like he either saw him going in, or there was something that led him there.
There was a trail. There was like a trail of stuff that led him led him to the YMCA.
I just saw him go there. I'm like, why did he go here? Like, this seems like something's missing, but it could have just been I wasn't paying enough attention.
You were playing your game.
I wasn't playing my game, actually.
You weren't playing Marvel Snap?
No, not for this. I was actually entertained. I was taking notes, though, which I am reading currently. So, no, I try to, when we do movies for the show, I try not to do other things and pay attention enough. Unless I get really, really bored, then I can't help you.
What happened to the Blair Witch Project?
Like I said, when I get really, really bored.
I'm not having this conversation again.
Again, you mean? Again is the key word here.
Again and again and again.
It's like the show. Some things just never die.
Oh, in my mind, they don't.
No, women remember.
The most inconvenient times.
Remember the time you irritated me 10 years ago?
That's exactly how it works.
It is. So, okay, but I do, when he jumps into the pool, Billy's like, oh, fuck.
Doesn't Gizmo go like, no? Or is that somebody else?
I don't think Gizmo does anything. Gizmo's with him, but I don't think Gizmo, I don't remember, but I mean, like, just it's how uncomfortable it was for Gizmo to have babies, and this guy just jumps in the fucking pool, and he's gonna have lots and lots of babies.
Like, how does it stop? When does it stop?
When he gets out.
Okay.
Yeah, right. I guess there must be a limit to the amount of procreation a creature can do. I guess I don't know.
As the experiment with the science teacher proved, the amount of water matters.
Yes,
It was just one drop, and you got one furball.
Okay.
The paint water was spilled on him earlier, and you got 5.
Also, my thought process was that he makes other gremlins, but then the gremlins make other gremlins. No? That's not
They haven't
how it
been
works?
born yet, I'm guessing. But also, like that, if you're following that type of math, if one cup brings you 5 and how much water's in a pool, I'm not going to do the math. You would have thousands upon thousands of gremlins.
Well, I mean, pretty close.
I mean, there were definitely hundreds. I mean, you saw the
a whole
one
movie
piece
theater
of
full.
stop motion in this where they're all walking on the street. That's a big crowd.
and that effect made my heart go pitter patter. Like I literally had like a swoon moment. Like oh, that's so lovely. I really do like that.
I knew you would.
Oh, so good.
That is a really good scene, though. I like because it's all practical,
Yep, great.
and I don't know. You can tell like it looks like stop motion too when they're all just walking there.
Yeah, it is.
I really appreciate
is.
that.
It is. That's
Okay.
what it was.
Yep.
Good, my
Like,
eyes
that
can
was-
tell.
They were going to use that for all of the gremlins, but they were like, no, it's too expensive.
Yeah, that's a very
mean,
time-intensive process.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't have been as good.
I think it would have been different, but I'm not even going to say it wouldn't have been as good. Like,
Yeah, I don't think I would agree with that. I think it would have been different. Yeah, it's just a totally different animation style. It would have given the movie a much different tone. I think everything would have been just so much different. Yeah, again, not better or worse, just different. Yeah, in my opinion.
Okay, I'll take it. And you have a small part where Billy goes to the police, and the police won't believe him, obviously.
Right, because come on now.
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised.
It's
I'm like,
also Christmas Eve and they're drunk off their asses.
one guy was.
Oh, okay, fine.
what? Cops drunk? What?
Never.
On the
Yeah,
job?
sure.
What?
Blasphemy.
ACAB. Anyway. So they don't buy it until they start getting calls. And real quick, one of the most shocking things to me during this watching of the movie, I was watching it and I was like, man, that deputy looks familiar.
Me too.
Pull him up, find out who it is. Oh, it's Jonathan Banks from Breaking Bad. He was Mike.
No.
Ehrmantraut.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Get
I
out of
forgot to
here.
tell you that.
We didn't get
That's
that far
amazing.
yet.
What do you mean?
Mike in Breaking Bad doesn't show up till season 3 or 4.
It said he was in Breaking Bad.
Yeah, but not till season 3.
Well, my husband got mopey and said, I can't handle the show anymore, so we stopped.
We can do it again.
It's a pretty hardcore show.
It is.
We got to season 2 midway, and I just was like, I'm just not in the mood for this right now.
That's actually very fair. Breaking Bad is one of my favorite things. Like just things.
It's a
It's
tough
a-
show, though.
I adore Breaking Bad. I think Better Call Saul is slightly better. That's my hot take for the day.
I tried watching Better Call Saul at one point when Netflix first got it, but I was in a bad place, so I couldn't do
What
it.
is that one? Is that a spinoff?
Sort
Yep.
of.
Oh,
Well, spin-off, yeah. Sort of a prequel, sort of a sequel. I think that I've heard a lot of stuff about that it makes comments to stuff that happens after Breaking Bad, but yeah,
It is wonderful.
that I've heard too.
If you ever want to do a watch through of that, I am your guy for Breaking Bad. I am a big fan.
It's surprising how many people that we know are in movies like this. Like we already talked about how Howie Mandel did Gizmo's voice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
But there are other people who are also doing voices, like Frank Welker is doing the voice of Stripe. And we mainly know Frank Welker from a lot of things, but most importantly, Scooby-Doo.
Okay, that name sounded really familiar, and I couldn't place it till you said it. So
Yeah.
So thank you, because I'm like
Like,
I know
it's-
this name.
Pretty wild. Peter Cullen plays some gremlins.
Oh, Optimus Prime.
Yeah, Optimus Prime. Also Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, I prefer Optimus Prime, but yes.
And Michael Winslow plays some of the gremlins.
Hey, good old Mike. How you doing,
Yep.
Mike?
Michael Winslow from the Police Academy series of film.
Oh,
Never seen those, and I don't know if I need to.
at
Yeah,
least one. At
They're
least the
good.
first one.
they're fine. I enjoy them.
They're stupid fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty
Like
much.
there's a lot of people. The guy at the bar that says Billy's drawing is nice, that's Chuck Jones. Animation
Yes.
Chuck Jones.
Yep, I saw that one in my quick research. Yep.
Like it's wild.
A lot of people are behind this again, and then And also, let's be honest, when you have the old Spielberg magic, that's not hard to do when you got Spielberg, helping you kind of fund the thing. But still, a lot of people were behind it.
No, Spielberg definitely does bring credit to people and get a lot of actors in. I do like that the first house they go after is the racist man's house.
Oh, poor Mr. Futterman.
Yeah, he means well. He's racist grandpa. It's just like, all right, he kind of just accept it for what he is. You're not going to change him.
But he's also right next door too.
This is true.
So it makes sense.
He's first up.
But it's just funny to me that, that's when the antennas, he's like, I can't get it, the antenna's broken. Like, I can't get any TV. And the only thing he gets is something, I think, in Spanish. And he's like, I get nothing. It's just kind of funny. Well, also, he reminds me of someone my mother knows that whenever she tells him, like, oh, I went and had Mexican food or I had Chinese food, and his reply will be, why not American?
No, that's not a real human being that lives, right? That's
yes, it is.
Oh, good gravy.
I vouch for this. It is.
It's a real person.
Oh, 100% that guy then.
Yeah. He also voted has a picture of Trump in his house. So, hey. But that he doesn't live in, by the way, anymore.
Why are people weird?
I guess that is the central quandary, I guess. Why do weird people exist?
It's Milwaukee. What do you expect?
Yeah,
that'll do it.
So, but that's what I was thinking of too, and I do like how they take the plow that has the gremlins in it. And he makes that comment earlier, and then actually it has gremlins driving it that murder him. Like,
yep,
he's like, I was right.
Gremlins.
Well, the nice thing is Mr. and Mrs. Futterman don't actually die.
Oh, I thought for sure he was dead.
Nope.
Well, she's in the second one. I think he is too.
Yes, he
I
is.
didn't know that.
So when the cops get the call, because they get a call, I think it's after that scene, they get their initial call about something happening because of gremlins. That's not who they're referring to. Who are they referring to? I thought they were referring to the Fullertons, whatever they are.
It's somebody else because they very much live. The original screen draft, though, did have them dying.
Okay.
But everybody just loves Dick Miller, so you can't kill him.
No, you can't kill him off. That's not acceptable.
Yeah. So
okay, I thought for sure.
We'll worry about the Futtermans later.
Yeah, that's a later date.
Yeah, it won't be anytime soon we get to do. I can tell you that much. But okay, and then you have a guy delivering mail, or not delivering mail, but puts his hand in a mailbox, and there's a gremlin that I'm assuming bites off his hand.
Yeah,
that is my assumption.
Also, like the other guy noticed something was wrong, and he just didn't say a word. He's like, all right, yeah, drop off your mail. Okay,
I know.
Well, that's a priest for you. Hey,
commentary.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even think about that fact, but yeah, I'll take it. And then what is the next thing you see with Gremlin? Oh, and then you got the sheriff gets a call about, I put in my notes about the snowplow what I thought was the murder. And then you get to see Mrs. Deagle, and she looks completely different because she's not wearing a wig.
I had to point it out to him.
Yeah, I didn't think it was the same character. Even though it says Deagle's house, and they make sure I didn't think it was the same character. I thought it was somebody else. Because she looks completely different. Women
can transform, remember?
I'm not wrong.
Well, you remember what Martha looked like without her wig. Or Carol.
Oh, God, yes. So, no, but I've said this about Scarlett Johansson. I've said this about our good friend Helena. Women can change what they look like. That's why women make great assassins. Go and murder somebody and be like, it was a redhead. And she walks out with black hair. Like,
and that's all it takes. It's for a hair change, pretty much, and a clothing change.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying the baseball cap in the MCU is basically the wig of the
Yeah.
That tracks.
Man, we did bitch about that for a long time, didn't we?
Sure did.
And apparently still are.
Y'all never let anything go.
Well, we don't. Anytime there's a movie where somebody crosses long distances with no money, there's other comments that come out. So, nope, we are the podcast where things don't die. So
that should be a spin-off. Or rename it. The podcast where things don't die.
It would be a decent name. All right. So what do I have in my? And then you have the cat lady house. I think this is just great with Miss Deagle, where she comes down the lift chair and she's like, "I hate Christmas carolers."
Yeah, all of her cats are named after money.
Oh man.
I didn't even hear the cat name.
Well, you did the one that was something silver dollar, $1 silver dollar, something $1.
$1 bill. There's Kopeck, peso.
Kopek? That's right. There's a damn cat named Kopek. Oh,
It's the currency. I don't remember from where.
I don't
Somewhere
remember.
in Europe.
It's a European currency. Yeah, I don't even know.
Okay.
It might have been long replaced by the euro at this point, but I don't know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, it must have been, because almost everything is replaced with a euro at this point. So that's kind of funny, though. All her cats are named after money. I did not catch
That's
that.
so funny. What a
Yeah.
funny joke.
She's the worst.
Just the worst. Irredeemable, which makes her demise again. Her demise. Look, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of getting old. I really am not. I hope my demise is as fun as that. I hope I am flung out of a second-story window from a malfunctioning stair chair. Because that's kind of rad. However, it is good that she gets dispatched quickly.
Well,
Because she's not good.
Deer face.
Yeah.
How big is that house? It just went around and around forever.
yeah, it's a little comical, though, how far it goes. But it's
Pretty sure she's got the biggest house in town.
Yeah,
I'm sure
I think
she
it's well established. She has the biggest house in town and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
But just like when she's like, I hate Christmas carolers, and then outside is little gremlin singing Christmas carols for some reason.
Why not?
Why not? They adapt quickly to their surroundings. They probably saw
Quickly.
yes, super duper quickly, and they probably saw some kids and people caroling and thought that might be fun because they do sing. It was established that they do have a knack for tone. So yeah, I'll take it. I accept it as truth.
Oh, it's really cute. And then she, freaks out, closes the door, and then they get inside and they break her chair.
If she is cheering go up and down, well, okay, never mind.
They disable the brakes, I think, essentially.
No, I was gonna say, how is she stop into a bank and stomp around town? But my mom's the same, so good thing she doesn't listen to it.
Nope. I mean, well, as a guy who talks to a lot of seniors for some reason, stairs are an issue.
For some reason.
Oh yeah,
Stairs are an issue. Like there are people who I can go golfing, I can do this, but I can't do stairs. So it's not just your mother, babe. It's a lot of people. It's just an unfortunate part of aging.
Stairs are a lot of work on the knees, and these are one of the first things, unfortunately, to go when you're of that age. So yeah, no, it is a legitimate thing, unfortunately.
So hey, you can always get a stair. You can always get a stair thing like that, and then disable the brakes and fly.
My grandma had a stair lift just like that. And when we were growing up, we were always like, "Can we ride on the stair lift?" It was like, "No, not a ride, not a toy." So we were never able to ride on the stair thing. Which I hope when I'm older, when I get to that advanced age, I hope I'm cool enough to be like, "Yeah, totally, freaking ride on it. Why not? Go for it, please. That'd be so
Don't
cool."
break it.
And then she just gets shot out of the house, and then she falls in the snow with her feet up in the air. It's fucking hilarious. It's death.
Again, too good for her.
And when the cops are driving and the one guy is still drunk, you have them see a Santa Claus get killed by gremlins.
It's so ghoulish. Again, love it.
Oh, it's a good scene.
PG, y'all. PG.
They don't even try to help the guy. Like, we gotta go.
Sorry, bye y'all.
PG.
I think we should go back to the station now.
And answer all the calls about Greenlaw gremlins.
There's only 2 cops in this town, too.
It's a small towns, Christmas. People are probably off,
Oh, yeah.
How much shenanigans go down on Christmas Eve.
And we get to a scene that made me think of Ken immediately. Immediately, I thought of Ken. So, Ken, how much would you like to have been back in the 80s and been able to smoke while at work?
Oh, man. Like, it would have been something. It would have been something. It was a different time, though.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
So, I mean, that part made me laugh. And then you have the whole thing at work is that the father stopped at a gas station to get gas, obviously. And he's trying to sell a smokeless ashtray or something, I guess. What the hell even is a smokeless ashtray? It
basically, like, the way they actually work is they recirculate the air through filters and, as much as they can spit out good air and, like, draw all the toxins out of the smoke through filters. It's a whole.
Okay. I was just curious because I wasn't familiar with it.
Yeah, they do exist. I've never used them because I don't smoke inside.
That's a good thing.
Because I'm not an asshole.
It transfers over to the bar with Kate working at the bar, and she's serving the gremlins. These are just so cute scenes of her just trying to get them. Just they're all getting drunk and they're smoking or have cigarettes in their mouths, and they're just eating peanuts and popcorn. I love this. Like, it is so great.
Yeah, they're just having a good old time.
And that's such an old school 80s bar. That just, I remember going to bars that felt like they were stuck in time like that, you know, and man, those are just sound like some good times were had in that bar. And probably a lot of bad times too. I don't know. I as they were in that bar, I could almost smell it. Like what does that bar smell like? Like old stale beer and stories and I don't know. I had a moment thinking about that. I was like, oh man, bars were fun.
Yeah, that is absolutely a Wisconsin bar at its core. I've been to several bars that look exactly like that.
Awesome. Very, very cool. But yeah, they're all just getting hammered. And this is the movie really dancing. And again, PG. Just, I guess they're not drunk people. They're drunk gremlins, I suppose. And again, the animation on these are amazing. I think everything looks great. The shot selection is great. This is just a lot of fun. It's dancing the line between I hate these gremlins because they're wrecking this fun little town, and like these gremlins are a pretty fun hang. Like, just jump in and join them. It's a lot of fun, and I from what I remember, the second one like dials all of that up to like 1,000. Like, it's all the gremlins doing things that some writer thought was funny, and I don't remember. I think it takes place in New York. Am I right? I think it's in New York. Yeah, and I remember not liking it as much because it just became a big joke. Like, the evil gremlins is strayed away from its slasher roots from what my recollection is. I could be wrong, but this is fun. This is actually a lot of fun. You're like, this. I'm enjoying watching these psychotic gremlins getting hammered and having a fun time.
Greta, you're introduced to Greta.
Yeah. Then Greta is introduced. Where are they getting these tiny handguns, by the way? That was a big question.
So I don't know where that was like the jazzerciser?
Texas.
Where did they get? Is that like for a Chihuahua or?
And again, I'm well aware I'm not trying to cinema sins this. I'm not trying to pick this apart. It was a real thought that came through my head. Like, I don't mind the fact that they now have they're armed and have weapons and know how to use them and load them. That's fine. I can live with that, but they're really small. Like, where are we getting this tiny artillery from? But again, it's a movie. Having fun. I don't. It's fine. Whatever. It's a movie. It's fine. It's fun.
It was the 80s. Well, I was thinking the exact same thing, Bill, when I was watching it. I'm like, where did they get these guns from? So.
No, I went straight to the clothes. Where are they getting all these clothes from? And the wig and the makeup.
I was gonna say, I like how Kate finds out they don't like fire because she tries to light the gremlin cigarette, and that's how she figures it out.
I like that too. That's a really nice beat. That's a very smart use of that. Again, making sure you have to remember that you know that they don't like light. I could almost explain away the clothing because there's department stores they've been ransacking things. I could totally see them getting like doll clothing, and wearing that, or that I can explain away in my brain. It's just the little weaponry was like, oh, all right.
Junior's first gun, I'm telling you.
Okay. Fair. It's fair.
You live in Texas, Bill. I'm sure you could buy a small gun somewhere.
Sure. Could just mail away I can mail away for an AK-47.
Here's a gun for your 4-year-old to use.
That's right. It has been a while since I've opened up a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch here in the Lone Star State. There may be a tiny pint size, little gun in there. Yeah.
I'll never forget your story with the first mail you got in Texas.
That's it. The first piece of mail I got when I moved to Texas. Welcome to Texas. Here's how you can build your own shotguns if you like. Build an automatic weapon. What? Here. Yeah, it was a catalog of gun parts where you could just make your own weaponry. And again, I said it before, but it's been a while, I guess. The weirdest one in there was the concealment stuff. Like, they had a thing where you can replace the center console in your car with a thing that can hide like a handgun and conceal the weapons in your car. It was like a very much so welcome to Texas here.
That is wild.
It was insane. It was literally like, oh, here's all the pieces to an AK-47 if you want to build that, or like fully automatic weaponry. And again, I could be off on that. I don't know much about guns. I don't like them.
Makes a great story, Bill.
But it's all I know is you could have fashioned your own from this catalog. And the first piece of mail I got, of course, wasn't meant to be sent to me. It was the previous owner. I guess in the apartment complex liked to make his own weapons. Cool.
And yes, you can you can actually make a gun from 3D printers. That's been proven already. Not very well, but it will fire once or twice. But it will fire
before it melts.
I mean, they make it out of metal, 3D. But yeah, you can essentially assemble it. It's not a very good gun, but yeah, no, you can
protect you for what?
You can assemble guns too, like if you know what the hell you're doing, like with just parts. That's what they do in some of the countries when they make guns that can't be traceable. They just make parts from just casings and things, and then build them, and then sell them to you. So, yeah, there's an illegal gun market out there. I found out about watching documentaries, but that's neither here nor there. But that's what I thought of. No, but it's just. And then she finds out the picture, and that's how she escapes. And then Billy does come. I guess Billy rescues her because she's still. And then they go to the bank, and then this is when you have because throughout the movie you have her being like, "I hate Christmas," and then she goes into the monologue about Christmas. Says it enough.
Yeah, enough. I'm not necessarily.
Father was coming down the chimney, and he got stuck.
Broke his neck.
I love that. I thought it was great.
That was great too. I think it's a really good piece of acting, and I like it. Its placement in the movie too, because I've said this before on other movies where a lot of films forget to take a breath. This is the movie taking a breath a bit. Like it's taking a breath. It's allowing us to sit with the characters a bit. It's giving us a little more tension, a little more reason to like the person. She says she doesn't like Christmas, and of course he gives her why would you not like Christmas? Everyone with that really sad, a lot of people are opening up their wrists at Christmas, which is a very true thing. That's not. Again, I keep. Ken's PG. That's one of those things. It's maybe not for my 8-year-old, but yeah. I like this. I think this is, and her performance is great.
Yeah,
really good performance. She sells it well. They're both very good in this. It's a good moment, and it seems a little silly, but it's very melancholy. And I read it as melancholy and sad, even though it had a little bit. It is also, he tried to go down the chimney and die going down the chimney. The way she performs it, a lot of gravity, and I liked that. I thought it was really good.
No, it definitely is. It just seems odd that it's there. And then also, now I understand why the guy that hits on her never shows up again, because I was like, shouldn't he be in this movie again? You paid to have this actor there, and he just disappears.
Yeah, he was just completely cut out, unfortunately.
They should have had something to do to finish up his character, something.
Just cut him out completely.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be in this movie since he doesn't do anything. Yeah,
ultimately the director decided to be better to spend time with the characters everybody likes.
Yeah.
I get it. It's like, why even have him here? You could just have skipped him.
Well, this is back when he was cheaper.
Fair.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I always think of him later on because he's been in so many movies, and then you have then they figure out the Gremlins are all at the movie theater, and I love how they're all just getting popcorn and watching the movie, and they're watching Snow White, and they're all singing along with it. Off to work we go.
It's my favorite scene. The theater scene is my favorite scene.
It's adorable.
She's like, what are they doing watching Snow White? And they're loving it.
They look so happy.
Well, they can't be all bad. I mean, they like cartoons.
Right.
But then they're monstrous little shits, so whatever.
So how did Kate know where the gas was in the basement? Did she work there? Was that a line that I missed? She knew where the boiler room was, and I'm like, how do you? And it's hidden under a panel. How do you know this?
I don't think you missed anything. I think it's just movie logic. Yeah, and how does he know which lines? I wouldn't know which line to break to make the gas go. I would not know those things.
I mean, I just would think break everything. Eventually, you'll figure it out.
It operates as the same logic of the eating after midnight thing, which is just, hey, shut up.
Yeah, Mike, shut up.
He's
We're just having fun here. And movies used to do that, and they don't anymore. And I kind of miss that, honestly. They don't expect you to just take everything at face value. Back in the 80s and 90s even, we just kind of, all right, it's happening because it's happening.
It's Christmas.
And I feel like once everybody started thinking too much about movies, I think we lost a lot.
No, but I agree with that. Did that. I always picked apart the movies.
I think more about movies now than I did. I agree.
So I don't know, maybe someday people stop caring so much and just let shit happen because it's happening.
Just go with the role and have the fun.
Yeah, and I did do that in this movie. I mean, yes, I have questions, but I wasn't not enjoying the movie because of it. Like, it didn't affect any of my enjoyment. It just had to be mentioned on a podcast because, yeah, it had to be. That's all. No, there was nothing in this movie that made me go, this movie sucks. There was none of that. That is good. That don't happen every time. Not every movie we do in the show, I do not leave happy. So, yeah, he releases the gas, and then you do see that Stripe had left before the boom because he went to go get candy at the department store.
Yeah, which is absolutely a great move.
Well, I mean, all his children get destroyed, and he survives and watches the theater blow up, and then they go, and then they have Stripe at the candy store, and then I have a very important question for you, Bill, that you knew was coming. So when
I knew this was coming, but I
was the kiss earned?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was
What I asked too.
It was a little smooch. It wasn't this big dramatic thing. It was, yes, I do believe it was. They've gone through a lot together. They've known each other for a while. He's obviously had a thing for her for a while, and they have this little good luck smooch. I think it's actually very well timed, and I think it's very sweet. So yes, I accept it as earned.
All right.
We need like a little like a drop or something like kiss earned, like a stamp or something. It's just a video.
Yes.
Hello. If it was YouTube, that's what it would be right now. If I made YouTube videos, I do not.
Because you'd be too lazy to do that.
Not if I actually made YouTube videos for a living. That's what I'd have to do, because that's part of the stupid gig, I guess. But that's neither here nor there. But then they go in the toy section. So I had forgotten a little bit of this movie, or I combined movies because I do have a question. In this movie, Gizmo does drive a pink Barbie car. Did he drive a red car in the second movie?
Yes.
Okay, because we have a toy of Gizmo in a red car that I'm looking at across my basement, and I was like, that's not a red car in this movie.
This is the Mandela effect.
Well, the fact that this toy is a red car meant it...
No, that's not necessarily true. I've never told you about the Britney Spears Barbie, have I?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, it's not today. So, but they go to the toy section. I do like how Stripe gets a chainsaw and tries to kill him with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's like, is it
It's
Stripe
classy.
size or is it a big size?
I think it's a normal size chainsaw.
Bigger than and heavier than him.
Electric,
It looks like one of those like little ones that like you'd use to like trim hedges with.
Mm-hmm. Or like something you'd put on the edge of a stick, like to trim the limbs off a tree. I can totally see that. And I can see a little chainsaw like that you would use for smaller applications. Yeah.
Not like full size, but enough to be dangerous.
Yeah, my neighbor has one. We sometimes borrow if we have to again trim some limbs off the tree, or it comes on a big. I don't use this stick. I'm not brave enough for the stick. So if that doesn't happen, yeah, I can see that.
Okay, and then this is also like right before this. He has a little mini crossbow, which I'm like, where do you get a mini crossbow from? But it's okay.
He's in the sporting goods section. That's where they're gonna have it.
Have your mini crossbows. Get your mini crossbows here.
Baby's first crossbow.
I mean, yeah. Got baby's first revolver, got baby's first crossbow, baby's first chainsaw, maybe too.
Yeah, why not?
And so Gizmo gets in the car. I was wondering how he drives the car because it's a toy. It should not work like that. But hey, it's cute. I didn't question it too much. I don't know why he's in the car other than I was thinking this is how you sell toys.
Well, that and he's trying to get to Billy. Like he's trying to save Billy.
Like he doesn't walk very fast.
No, he got little legs.
So he found a car. How does he know how to drive? Hey, shut up.
Oh, that was another one. I was like, okay, I get maybe you can turn the wheel, but are there pedals in there? Is there a stick shift? What's going on?
Well, plus he was also watching that Clark Gable movie that he quotes while he's driving.
Yeah. Yep.
So like he's having a good old time. He's action or a race car hero. He's having fun.
It's a really cute scene. And then when Billy's all kind of fucked up at this point, too. He got shot by a crossbow. He got shot at by a gremlin. Got almost chainsawed to death. Like, he's not having a good day.
No. And that is where the real hero.
The woman saves the day.
Oh, Gizmo's the real hero.
Oh, what did Gizmo do?
He opened the window.
Oh, that was Gizmo? I thought that was Kate.
No. That was Gizmo.
Gizmo.
Kate just turns on the lights.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And then Gizmo opens the window, and that's when Stripe starts to stick his finger in the fountain, and then he gets burned to death because he's a vampire for some reason.
Sunlight kills him. Why? Shut up.
I mean, I took it as the idea of, like, sunlight being, good and killing things that are evil. And if Mogwai stand for devil, that just makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So I didn't really question it.
Good.
I'm questioning it a little bit more now, but yeah.
You don't want to question a movie like this. I feel like if you question a movie like this, you're really not enjoying it.
No, you're going to have a worst.
Yeah.
But okay, I didn't realize that Gizmo opened the window. I just remember the lights getting turned on. He gets stunned, but I didn't realize, yeah. Because I know Gizmo had this, he doesn't jump the car too at one point?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because he's an action hero.
He's evil.
He's watched some TV. He's watched a television show or two. He knows what to do with the situation.
But then Stripe melts in a terrible fashion that really reminded me of Raiders: The Lost Ark.
Yeah. Oh
so
man,
good.
That is a gnarly melt right there. Woof.
Really great. Really great.
And he's got that last little, where the skeleton just tries to grab him one last time before it just crumbles.
The Super Metroid moment. I know this predates Super Metroid, but I thought immediately of the monster in Super Metroid that jumps out.
God, I forgot.
Who
his
knows?
name.
Could have been a reference. I don't remember the monster's name.
Yeah, I just know it's in the lava guy that you fight. You got to push against the wall.
Yeah,
I know the
Yeah,
monster,
pushing the
but
lava.
I know he has a name, but I don't remember. I don't know.
I don't remember.
And then the old man, and then finally the town's recovering, and this is all over the course of Christmas Eve, right? This whole event happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the next, I think the next day, the old man comes to take back Gizmo. He's like, "You stole it from me." Well, his son. I mean, your grandson did sell it to him.
But he does throw the money back.
Oh, he did give him the money back?
I think, didn't he?
I didn't.
Threw it on the couch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I thought he kept him when he's like, "Yeah, this is for my troubles and making me come here, you asshole."
No, he threw it at him.
At least you gave it back to him.
Yeah.
After
And
the town was destroyed.
I mean, he didn't steal it, so.
He
they're
bought
talking
it.
about some stuff on the radio that really have some interesting things too before grandfather shows up.
What is it?
The Ricky Rialta guy on the radio is like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
the police are here. They're gonna blast these things with the hose,"
Oh.
and you never find out what happened there.
Oh.
And then the newscaster at the end, before the grandfather shows up, also talk about how he's going to talk to Mr. Futterman in the next segment. So they do say that he is alive. They're going to
Okay.
go see him in the hospital.
I did not catch that. Okay.
But yeah, the grandfather comes back and nope, you can't have this. No, but like the
Here's your money
sweet
back.
part. I like
Yep.
the sweet part
Me too.
where
Me
he's
too.
like, someday you might be ready for this.
Yeah, because he understands he somehow knows that Billy did a good job and did the best he could with a tough situation. So I it's very sweet, and also gives me hope as somebody who's just heartbroken that this little sweet little boy is being taken away from the other sweet guy. This is helping assuage that a little bit, it's helping ease that. They will get back together one day. Who knows?
We'll get back
That's
together
nice.
for one more movie.
Nah. But
And
yeah,
they do.
and they do.
And then grandfather takes Gizmo and they walk off, but not before Gizmo says goodbye to Billy and goodbye to Woof Woof.
Aw,
Such a cute ending.
very cute.
The voice is great for little Mogwai. Nobody questions why he can speak English. I guess it
Nope.
imitates people.
Maybe there might be some parodying.
I thought it
element
was.
there.
I thought it was the TV. He was learning from the TV.
Well, he
Yeah,
was
I mean-
talking before then, though.
Was he?
Yeah, he started talking pretty quickly.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
That's a fair assumption.
No, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. So the one thing that really bothered me, like I was talking about earlier, was why Gizmo? Why is Gizmo nice and else is shitty? And you gotta go into the novelization for this one.
What?
It's a novelization.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
I know there's
Oh, yeah.
games.
Yep. But apparently Gizmo is one of what they call the eternal Mogwais. Mogwais, as a rule, are pieces of shit.
Oh no.
But some of them can just choose to be good. And Gizmo did.
Aw.
Probably the idea is also that Gizmo is really old, I'm assuming, too.
That may be.
I mean,
But
he looks like he could be Yoda's cousin to me.
But again, this is very much a, hey, shut up.
Shut up. Nobody
Well,
asked.
without the novelization, I just assumed that he was owned by the kindly grandfather, and he has already been he was kind of housebroken to a certain extent, right? So
I like that explanation better.
I just took it as like he kind of knows what it is to live around the house, and he's not feral like the other ones. He's probably had all the, he was, in that house, in that cool antique place. So I just took it because he was owned by somebody, and he had all those bad tendencies taken out of him, or trained out of him, etc. However you want to say it. Where these newly born ones have not had that opportunity.
Yeah, they're just
that's fair.
wild kids.
They're teenagers or toddlers. Maybe toddlers is more appropriate.
1 year, 3 year, 4 year. Sorry.
So, all right. Any other things that you guys want to say about the movie, or should we go to shelf stacker box?
I swear there was something else I wanted to talk about at the end, but
Oh yeah, there was. Damn it! Should have.
I forgot. Bill, what was it?
Listen, I don't remember what I said 10 minutes ago. You think I should have written it down. I have a pen and paper right here. No, because you want to talk about the
inherent badness of Gremlins.
Right, the inherent badness of Gremlins. I think that was it. I'm pretty confident that was it.
That may have been. I could have sworn there was something else, but whatever. No, I think we're good. Shelf stack box.
Okay. All right. And Tiffany, why don't you go first?
I will put this on the shelf because it's like I said, a childhood thing, and it's still fun to watch, even with its inconsistencies. It's still super fun to watch, in my opinion.
Yeah, consistencies aren't too bad. All right. I'll go next. I'm going to put this on the shelf, too. I had a really good time with this movie. I wasn't sure what to expect, and I enjoyed my time. I enjoyed myself, and it was nice to watch this kind of for the first time, because I've never really seen the whole thing before. So, yeah, go on the shelf. And what about you, Bill?
I'm going to put this on the shelf. Yeah, I really enjoyed this. This is a lot of fun. It's a great combination of goopy horror and junior level horror and heartfelt charm, and it's a delightful movie, and I think it's a lot of fun, and it's a very well made movie. It has a lot of great scenes and has a lot of great acting. It's got all the bits and bobs. So yeah, there's no reason this should not be on the shelf for sure.
Okay, and this is one of our Christmas releases. We have a few stuff coming. And Ken, what about you?
I'm gonna make it official. We're gonna go unanimous shelf on this one. It's a great little movie. Not one that I feel the need to revisit constantly, but whenever I watch it, there's always just a big smile on my face.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need. I mean, if the movie makes you happy, that's good enough.
Yeah, especially in these times.
Yeah, that is a very true statement.
Dear God.
All right, I think that's, yeah. So this was, as I said kind of at the top of the show, this was a Patreon voted, and you are going to get one more Christmas movie because we had a tie from this poll. So you will be hearing Krampus pretty much the day after you hear this, or right around it, because I've got to get them out before Christmas is over, because I am. Either this or Krampus. Probably Krampus. So, yeah. All right, and we should go to plugs. And Bill, where can people find you at?
A Gamer Looks at 40. The show is returning on July 4th. July? No, not July, wow. Silly goose. January 4th. Listen,
poster.
If it was July, that means it's never coming back. Come on now. January 4th is when the show returns. It's a nostalgic look at video games and why we fell in love with them. And it's a good time. We'll be talking about Final Fantasy VII for about 2 months because it's that big of a game. And if you don't like it, then listen to this show and other shows like it. There's lots of things you can do with your entertainment. Almost $1. You're not going to pay for it. Your entertainment hour. So but I do encourage you to listen to it because I think it's a good time nonetheless. A Gamer Looks at 4040.com for all of my everything.
Right. And Kenneth.
You can find me here as always. I'm pretty much always lurking around on Games My Mom Found episodes. Also, my movie podcast is coming sooner rather than later. I'm looking forward to sharing more details with you soon, but it's going to be a good time. You'll hear some familiar voices on there, I'm sure.
I'm sure
and,
too.
Yep, we're looking forward to sharing something new with you, something interesting. But for the time being, you know where to find me. I'm here.
A lot.
4.
All right, and if you enjoyed this episode, over 700 other episodes of this podcast. We do movies, TV shows, comics, games, all sorts of content. You can find we have a giant catalog on Podbean. Just you can search in whatever you want. You never know what we've done because we've done a lot of weird shit too, like Reanimator that was mentioned earlier. If you want to support the show, we do have Patreon. You get to vote in Patreon polls. We have 1 to 2 a month, where it's usually movie polls, but you get to choose what's going to be on the show. And this year is going to be a lot of, or 2025, which is about to happen, is going to be a lot of Discord suggestion polls. So I have a whole list to get through. So definitely go check that out. I want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro, courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Fury. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky. Still on Twitter, but we'll never post on there again, probably. And YouTube, TikTok, rate reviews, or get your podcast. I think that's... Oh, yeah, and join our Discord. I think that's everything I need to say, so we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.